It's back to school time, which means our mornings are about to get bananas. So I'm gonna be sharing with you today some make-ahead muffins that are perfect to keep in your pantry or store in your freezer that you can grab and take while you head out the door. Are you ready? Well, I better grab an apron even though I'm going out the door. Aprons on, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna start on some Oat Berry Cups. So we're gonna need a cup of milk, half a cup of maple syrup, 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla. We're gonna whisk these together. 1½ cups of quick cooking oats and 1 cup of granola. Use anything you like. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. We're gonna mix this together. Okay, we're going to put these in our muffin tins and we're gonna top each muffin with some berries, putting them in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. It's at 350 degrees. These taste really good. And the granola that I used had coconut in it and honey, so it gave it even more flavor. These are good. We also love to make mini egg cups. These are so good. You can make them in so many different varieties. I like to make these in a silicone pan because you could pop them right out. You can also make these in a mini muffin tin and they're bite size. One of our favorites is baked omelet muffins. We love adding both ground cooked sausage and crispy bacon. And for our veggies, we love using mushroom, green pepper, onions, and fresh spinach. If you decide to add cheese in them, we like to use cheddar cheese and sometimes feta. It's sometimes tricky knowing how many eggs you'll need for this recipe. You can use anywhere from 9 to a dozen. Add some salt and pepper. And if you need to make your eggs stretch, just pour in some milk and give it a good mix. I love using the silicone muffin pans. They're so nice to work with. So put it on a baking tray. I like to spray mine lightly with a cooking spray. And to the bottom, add your proteins, so the crumbled sausage and the bacon. Then add your vegetables. It's great using the fresh spinach in this, but frozen spinach works just as well. And top it with your cheese. I'm gonna do half this tray in cheddar and the other half in feta. And then into each one, just pour in your egg mixture. The cooking times may vary with your oven. So with this oven, I cooked it at 375 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes, but this round actually took 30 minutes for me. Just give them a good peak around 15 minutes and adjust from there. I let these sit in the muffin tray until they cool off just a little bit because they're easier to handle and they won't fall apart. These are great to store and have for later. Once they're all cooled, you can add them to a Ziploc bag or a freezable container and pop them in your freezer for later. These are great on busy mornings. You could take one out of the freezer the night before or in the morning, put it in between a paper towel or a napkin, and put it in the microwave starting at 30 seconds and see how it goes. These will also keep very well in your refrigerator in a sealed tight container all week. They are so flavorful and they're one of our favorite breakfast muffins. Now let's make our mini broccoli egg cups. I'm dicing up some green pepper and onions. I have some broccoli florets that I'm also going to dice up finely. I don't want real big chunks in this. They're decent pieces of broccoli here mixed up with the veggies, so that looks good. And I have some bacon that I'm also going to dice up and get in the bowl with the vegetables. For these mini muffin bites, I'm using around 15 eggs. I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. And I'm gonna whisk these up. And now I'm gonna add a cup of that Mexican style cheese. All right, pour all that egg mixture in with our veggies and mix it up real good. Okay, I'm gonna take my mini muffin tin and give it a good spray and just start spooning my mixture in. Okay, I'm gonna bake this at 350 degrees for 10 minutes and then I'll take a peek at it. Okay, these mini cups look so good and they're gonna come out like butter. Oh my gosh, smooth sailing, sweet. Would you look at those? Quick, easy protein bite with veggies. Let's make some lemon raspberry muffins. Have your oven preheated to 375 degrees and grease or line a muffin tray. In a bowl, add 2 eggs. You'll need the juice and the zest of 1 lemon. Add a half a cup of oil, I'm using canola, a half a cup of milk and sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Now let's whisk this all together. Into another bowl, add a cup of rolled oats, then a cup and a half of flour, 1½ teaspoons of baking soda, and add a dash of salt. Now just give these dry ingredients a good mix. Now let's mix together our wet ingredients with our dry. Mix until it's just combined. You'll need a cup of raspberries. You can use fresh or frozen, and these are absolutely beautiful, and they're washed and dried. Spoon the mixture into the muffin tray and bake for 15 to 20 minutes until golden brown. Allow them to cool before you store them. These are great to package up and put in your freezer for later. I'm going to share with you a really yummy oatmeal applesauce muffin, and it has all the basic things that you already have in your pantry ready to go for you. So we're going to start on our topping first, and that's the streusel. So you'll need a half a cup of oats, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of butter, not softened, so cold. Okay, you're going to cut into it until it's nice and flaky. So now in this bowl, we're gonna add the dry ingredients together. So 1.5 cups of quick cooking oats, or you can use regular oats, 1 1/4 cup of flour, 1/2 cup of firmly packed brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay, we're gonna give these a good mix, and then we'll add in our wet ingredients. Then you're gonna add a cup of the applesauce, and then a half a cup of milk, 3 tablespoons oil, and a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and the egg. Stir it up. You could put these in a nice greased muffin tin, but I always use liners. I hate when muffins stick, and it's just easier to store away when they're in liners. All right, that is good and mixed. The recipe says that it can serve 18, and I have a huge 24 muffin tin. So we'll see how far I can go distributing out the mix and see if we get 18. We're gonna fill these about 3/4 full. Now we're gonna put a generous portion of the streusel topping right on top. We're gonna bake this in a 400-degree oven for 15 to 18 minutes. And these muffins are freezable, so you can make them, let them cool, freeze them up, and then when you would like one in the morning, all you have to do is just heat it through in the microwave, and you have a yummy muffin for breakfast. Next up, we're making bacon quiche tarts. We're gonna need a tablespoon of finely chopped onion. We need 2 tablespoons of chopped green pepper. In a bowl, add 6 ounces of softened cream cheese, and this is gonna sound weird, but 5 teaspoons of milk, and give that a good mix. We're gonna add the onions and the peppers, and I'm gonna give this a mix. We gotta also add the eggs and the cheese, and give that a mix. And for this recipe, we're using a roll of crescents. Do you know that some people are terrified of opening these cans? Next, we're gonna take our crescent rolls and we are going to divide them into the 8 triangles. Okay, I sprayed a silicone muffin tin. So what I do is I take the triangle and I just kind of make a circle and then press it in. And press it into the bottom of the muffin tin. Take the bacon and sprinkle some in. You could chop it up, whatever you want. I'm just gonna use my fingers and tear it and put some at the bottom. Now that we have our bacon in, we're gonna scoop the mixture in. And then when we're all done doing that, we're gonna top it with more bacon. And this is going in a 375-degree oven for 18 to 22 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna put this on a baking sheet. Should have done that before. In the oven it goes. Look how easy these are just coming out of this pan. Yum. To freeze it, let them cool and put them in a Ziploc bag and stick them in the freezer up to 3 months. Take one out the morning you need it and heat it up a little and you've got breakfast on the go. Next up, we're gonna make some banana blueberry muffins. I'm adding in 4 tablespoons of melted butter and 2 of my ripe bananas. Okay, I'm gonna mix up the butter and the banana together. While that's mixing, I'm gonna drop in a half a cup of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, 2 eggs, then you're gonna add a 1/4 cup of orange juice. I had an orange, so I decided to squeeze the juice from that. And then I'm gonna mix all this together. Now I'm gonna work on the dry ingredients. For this whole recipe, you're gonna need 1.5 cups of flour. I'm gonna sprinkle in a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon salt. While that's mixing, I'm gonna add in 1 1/4 cup flour and just stir this up until it's combined and the batter will be lumpy. Now let's put in the remaining 1/4 cup of flour, and we'll need 1 cup of blueberries, and we're gonna fold this in. I'm gonna start scooping this in my muffin tins. If you're gonna do jumbo muffins, this will make about 6. I was able to get 16 muffins out of my batter. My oven is set to 350 degrees, and these are gonna bake for 25 to 30 minutes. And I want my tops to come out golden brown. These look perfect, and they smell so good. If you're wondering where I got this muffin 24 count muffin tin, it was from Home Goods. Okay, they smell so good. I'm gonna let these cool off. Oh, look at this. This looks so good. Let's make our kids pancakes, French toast, Egg McMuffin sandwiches, and breakfast burritos in the morning without dirtying a pan. Click on these videos here and I'll show you how you can fill your freezer to help with your crazy busy mornings. I'll meet you over there. Thanks for joining me. Bye.